Hey, welcome to Happy Tales of Happy Tales, the podcast where you'll hear stories of the way pups have touched our hearts and our lives. So, for the next few minutes, let everything else go and just listen and smile. I'm your host, Julie Jackson.
Earlier of them, but I'll start with Axel because you have dogs in your life, and there's that special one that is your heart dog, and you never ever get over them. And of course, I don't have Axel anymore, but I'll just tell a little bit about him. We got him from a family in Weatherford. He was 12 weeks old, and we got him to be the friend for our senior dog lady. We had just lost another shepherd. It kind of all just goes down the line. And so we brought him home, and lady, she did her matriarch thing and raised him. And he, about the age of 6 months, he started having health issues. And the vet found out that he had a growth, some sort of genetic marker that made him grow very big and very fast. And he had a huge lump in his neck. It was like the size of a golf ball, and it was calcium. And so the vet took it out, and we started him on Gaviscon for a year and a half to stop him from growing because he was getting huge.
Oh, wow.
And this particular genetic thing shows up, and it usually shows up in the soft tissues of the dogs. Well, he got one on his tongue. So his tongue was always kind of crooked because they had to remove it from his tongue. But anyway, he kept growing and growing, getting bigger and bigger, and he, maxed out at 150 pounds.
Oh my God.
And he was like a small horse, and we take him for walks, and people would look at him and go, "What is he?" And he's a German Shepherd, and he was a Shepherd. 100%. He was the best protection I ever had, but he was also very reactive. Mm-hmm. He didn't like any other dogs except Lady, who we had at the time. He loved no one but his family, and he was mainly protective of me. I was like the mama dog. And one night I was sitting here in this room, and I was concentrating on something, and my husband came up behind me and scared me, and I screamed. Axel came and latched onto his arm. It's like, we're going to mama. And he was always underfoot. You know the same thing. Dogs in the kitchen, they're always under your feet. You got to step over them, And he was so big, he just took up the whole kitchen. But let's see, I tried to make some notes here about him. He just got really big, and he didn't like people, didn't like other dogs. And I had to learn that was okay if he didn't like other dogs, because I was always going to control him around other dogs. But if anybody came on our house, it's like, don't make eye contact and don't touch him,
Right.
I don't think he ever hurt anybody, but he was just massive. And our neighbors didn't particularly care for him because he was so big and loud, and he would jump up against the fence. And we had one neighbor who just really would annoy him. And of course, Axel would keep hitting the fence. Neighbor would call animal control. So we got to know animal control pretty well.
Oh, no.
Oh, is it Axel? Okay, goodbye.
Right. They're like, he's fine.
Yeah, they knew that he did not pose a threat at all, But again, I keep saying, he got so big. My husband had to make him special beds because we could not find anything large enough for him to lay comfortably in. So I wish I had a picture, but my husband built this gorgeous wood frame bed with a Tempur-Pedic mattress, and we put it in our front room of our living room in front of the house, so he could sit there and look during the day at his estate and see who's coming by. He hated the UPS men, he hated the Federal Express men, and one of my good friends was a manager at one of a local pet store, and she said, "Why don't you bring him on in?" About this time, Lady had passed away, so he was by himself. And she said, "Why don't you bring him in, and I'll kind of make sure I know other dogs come in while you're there." And so sure enough, we're in there, and the lady's husband walks in, and he has a UPS uniform on. No. Oh, no. But luckily, he didn't do anything about that. But anyway, as he got older, he had a lot of health issues, and we don't know if it had to do with the calcium deposits called calcinosis circumscriptum. We don't know if that had anything to do with his health issues, but of course he, had arthritis, and at one point the vet said he had degenerative myelopathy, which to this day I cannot accept. I think it was just arthritis, but he eventually could not walk. But prior to that, um, he became so lonesome after Lady died, and again he would not have anything to do with any other dogs. And so, what are we going to do? Whole year went by, and I just so happened to go to a rescue for the was it German Shepherd Rescue of North Texas, and they had this tiny little German Shepherd female, same age as Axel, and she'd been through a lot. She was scared. She was like a third of the size of him, and the thing I liked about her was that she had been with an alpha male in her foster home. And I thought, well, Axel's an alpha male. We brought her home, and it was truly a love story. He loved her so much, and it's gonna make me cry.
Me too. It's okay.
You can see by the picture where he's kissing her at the park. And they were just such a cute little couple. And that's them right there in that picture up there. My husband painted those pictures of our shepherds.
Oh my gosh, he's so talented.
They're all done in oil. That's Vader, our first shepherd. That's Lady. And then we've got Sasha and Axel up there. But anyway, he loved Sasha. And they had, like I said, they were both the same age, around 7. She passed away at the age of 11. 3 months after she had her birthday, she passed away. And Axel, of course, it broke his heart, broke all of our hearts. And here we go again. He's not going to accept another dog. And he ended up in a wheelchair. And 3 months after his 11th birthday, he passed away too. And it's still really hard to talk about it. But shortly after he passed, I was in the backyard, and Butterfly came and sat on my shoulder. And it's like, you just read about this stuff, but Butterfly sitting on my shoulder, following me all over the yard. Now, I'm not one of those people that's like, ooh, type of stuff.
Yeah.
It was a God thing, I firmly believe, to help me through all of this. And then shortly after that, in our living room, we have, I guess you would call it I don't know, I've got their pictures, I've got their ashes sitting there, and I have a porcelain German Shepherd figurine. And one night, in the middle of the night, this porcelain figurine falls off the shelf for no apparent reason and breaks. And I'm like, okay, is it time for me to let go? I need to move on. So I started entertaining the thought of we had this cat. His name is Milo. Milo and Axel were like the best of buddies. Both of them are alpha males. And so I thought, well, maybe I need to get Milo a friend. And I thought, oh, great, what am I going to get him? Because he's already 9 years old. So I go into this pet store, and there's this tiny Maine Coon cat. And I thought, well, she's pretty cute. So I adopted her. And when I got home, I looked at her adoption papers, and she and Axel had the very same birthday. I mean, that's not a coincidence.
Right. You just know, you're like, yeah, they're meant to be here.
Yeah. And it's like, I think the Lord knew that, I needed something. Milo, the cat, needed something, and I think maybe Axel's just smiling down on me, saying, hey, Mama, it's okay.
Yeah.
I have these lanterns that I have hung in my backyard, one for each one of my shepherds, and they light up at night. And Axel's stays lit almost all the time. It's like, hey, Mama, I'm here.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's the story of my Axel, and like I said, he'll always be my heart dog.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing. I've got tears.
No, I know. I was thinking earlier, and it's like, I'm just gonna cry.
And you know what? It's okay. I mean, it's just they just enrich our lives. And
they do.
I laugh because finally at one point was like, it's just silly to say that I've rescued a dog, because I think every time they've rescued me.
Exactly.
They're so special.
Yeah, they are. And our lives are they're empty without them.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting too, because like you've had multiple dogs. And one thing that I always marvel at is that they're all so unique and they all bring so many different gifts, you
Mhm.
know, like, and so you may have several, but when you lose one, there's still such a huge void because their personalities are not like anyone else's. You know,
Right.
what they do and the things they pick up on are different than what their siblings do, and they all just work together to just really enrich our lives. So
Yeah. We had Axel's wheelchair. I'm sure you're familiar with the wheelchairs for the dogs who can't walk. And it was up in our attic for a year and a half. And this past Christmas, I thought, I need to bless another dog who can't walk.
oh yeah.
And so it went to a little boxer in Arizona named Buddy. And
Oh
pictures of, and it made my heart feel good to know that Axel's life had, with even what he went through, the things that we were able to give other dogs because of him made a
yeah.
difference in their lives.
Yes, yes, he just continues to bless.
Yeah.
So, oh, well, I appreciate you so much. And this just made my day.
Oh, well, good. Well, it made mine too. And I appreciate you for reaching out to me and letting me share my story.
Yes, I love
Great.
it. Well, have a wonderful weekend.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know that you are busy, and I really appreciate that you chose to spend some of your time with me. So let's do a little bit of bookkeeping before we head out. If you enjoy this and you would like to receive the episodes automatically without having to seek them out, then in your podcatcher, follow or subscribe. And that way, every time an episode drops, it'll show up for you and you'll know that it's there. Makes it super easy. You don't have to think about it. Please go visit the website. It's really cute. It's got puppy pictures. Also, I've got a free gift for you over there if you will go check it out. And if you would like to message me, if you have any suggestions, specific pup stories you want to hear, or even better, if you want to share a story, you can message me right there from